Wall. Tracy comes off the board. Shot! He scores! Oh!
We're going to be a fairly young team. Right now, we project to have as many as 11, 17-year-olds on our team. It looks like that age group has the makings to be a fairly strong group for us. We like our depth. I think we have good work ethic, good leadership, good compete in our veteran group. I think we'll be a hard team to play against. I don't think we'll score naturally. We do have two 20-year-old spots to fill and consider how we add to our lineup. But I think that we'll be young, but at the same time, we're going to have to compete real hard and work, have a strong work ethic to win some close, tight games and stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. Luke's a great young guy. He's got high-end character, real good work ethic. He's got good speed in his game. I think he'll be one of the top penalty killers in the league, plays hard down the middle, can play against the other team's best players. He knows he's not an elite offensive guy by any means, but he works real hard and he contributes as best he can offensively, but, does a lot of the details real well and as I mentioned, has a great compete level. So, when you have an older guy like that and he has a work ethic and character at the level this young guy does, he's an important part of your team. Real difficult this decision in terms of what we did at the draft with Jet Wu, but as a manager, you always have the responsibility not only for your team today, but in the big picture. And we felt the time was right to get younger and add younger players and add some assets. As you know, that deal also got us into the first round with the 11th overall pick and added a real good young defenseman in Denton Matejchuk from Winnipeg. So, and Korzak was obviously the key young guy in the deal for us. He's been outstanding at training camp and preseason so far. He's going to come in here. He'll play a top six role. We'll utilize him down the middle. He came into camp as one of the fittest, most athletic guys. He plays the game the right way. His details are good. He's got good skill, real good hockey sense. He's a late 02, doesn't turn 17 till November. So this guy's got lots of upside, and he'll be a big part of our team as a young guy this year, and over the next 3 years, going to be an important player for us as we try to get back to that contending status. Yeah, our offense and particularly our power play will, be centered around Tracy and right now we see Tracy and Ryder Korzak playing together and then figuring out whoever finds their way onto their right side. Tracy just, as a rookie last year, he was a guy that didn't play in the league at 16, but his hockey sense and his puck skills are elite. And, that led to the year that he had, Rookie of the Year, first round to Anaheim. And, there'll probably be a little bit more of a target on him in terms of who he's up against. And the other teams have a little bit better idea in terms of this guy's offensive abilities. But, like I said, I think we're going to have to work hard to generate offense and Tracy's going to obviously be a guy that's going to lead the way and find a way to not only contribute himself but make the guys around him better and find a way to chip in offensively. Well, he's not your typical 16-year-old in terms of size and strength and power. He's a big, strong kid that can play a power forward game and has good skill and he's got a great shot, can really snap the puck for a young guy. So this is a guy that plays the game heavy, but can score goals, and he's also He's also a real committed young guy. Like, he's in tremendous shape. He's got good preparation, good focus in terms of getting better. As I talked about with a number of young players, this is a guy that's going to play in our top six as a 16-year-old. He's going to see time on the power play. And, he's another piece that's an important part of what we're trying to build here. And his development as a 16-year-old will be key in terms of moving forward. Damon's a good, solid, all-round, complete player. He plays a strong two-way game, has some offensive upside. Smart, trusting, solid are the best ways to describe him. He'll be a significant part of our back end, regardless of what we do on the 20-year-old front. He'll play in all situations. He'll be a top pairing guy. He'll kill penalties. He'll be a key guy on the power play. And he's a mature kid. Even at 17, he's ready for those opportunities. And somewhere along the way, there's some leadership capabilities in this guy as well. So lots to look forward to here. He's an impressive player, an impressive young guy that, again, a lot of the guys we're talking about here, 02s, 03s, and it's all part of the building of what we're doing. And Damon will be a guy that's leading the way here over the next 3 years. Well, Evanoff is initially with the hip surgery. Evanoff was out until after Christmas. But the surgery went well and wasn't extensive as initially thought on the hip. And then after the surgery, he was projected maybe mid-November, late November return. But he's even ahead of schedule on that. But again, with a goaltender and a hip injury, we got to make sure that he's ready to go at the right time. So we don't expect him to play before November. We have two goaltenders here. Jackson Barry's a 17-year-old out of OHA Edmonton, and Brett Merwald is a 16-year-old out of the Saskatoon, from the Saskatoon Blazers. Our plan in net is for one of those guys to be here. We're looking at the goalie market in terms of bridging the gap with a goaltender that has some WHL experience until Evanoff gets healthy. That's something we'd like to do before the regular season starts. We'll see how that plays out, and then we'll wait and see when Evanoff returns to the lineup, and we'll have three goaltenders at that point, and we'll have a decision to make. But that's where we're at as of right now in net. He's had a real good camp. He was probably our fittest guy at fitness testing. He looks like he's taken a good step. Sometimes with these import players, you got to be patient with them through their 17-year-old year. It's a significant transition. It's a new world to them, a new level of competition that they've never seen before. And sometimes patience is a virtue when these guys get to their 18-year-old year. So far, that's how it looks with Stepanov. He's come in bigger, stronger, faster. And again, looks like he's ready to contribute more. He's strong defensively, good down the middle, competes real hard. But it looks like he's taken a good step to produce more offensively, and he'll be a guy that we expect more of, and he'll get that opportunity.